So it is our time. Today is, what day is today?
15th.
15th of March already. Yeah,
Yes.
very good. So let's do a quick prayer. Father Almighty, here we are, another Sunday, another Saturday, together amongst friends to study about mediumship, this wonderful legacy given to us by Kardec, bringing us the knowledge to recognize ourselves and to help others. Be with us through this humble study, giving us the right intuition, the right support to allow us to improve ourselves. Be with us today and always. So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Okay.
Let me share the book with you guys.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning, all.
Good morning. So here we are. We are continuing discussing the topic about meetings and societies. Last week we have stopped here in destruction of harmony, and we start from there. Since the most powerful antidote against the poison is charity, it is what they try hardest to stifle. This is something that is very important, not only in regards to meetings, gatherings, but is also important in light of how to protect ourselves, how to create a nice environment around us, how to be more in contact with elevated spirits. Charity is the key. There are many ways to do charity, and we are very good in finding excuses not to do. But if you want to ensure your safety among those practices, if you want to ensure the quality of the group, the quality of the results you're going to find in those groups, charity is the answer. If you're there for any other reason, sorry. If you'd like to improve yourself, that's the answer. Many people may not agree, but when we do that, it's more than just a philosophical thing. I can go even further and say that is a scientific thing, because when you do charity, you are promoting changes in the atmosphere, you are promoting changes in the energy, therefore in the surroundings or the local that you are. So charity is the key. Thus, groups must not wait until the evil become incurable before applying the remedy. In fact, they must not even wait for the first symptoms, for it is especially necessary to prevent them from appearing in the first place. It's very clear. It's very clear what Kardec is saying here. We know what we can use to prevent something bad to happen. We know what we can use to protect ourselves. If we decide, and we have the right and the freedom to decide not to do, we cannot complain afterwards. We cannot say, oh, I did not know. Oh, sorry. Well, we know. If we decide not to do, it's our burden. No one else. There are two effective ways to do this if done correctly: heartfelt prayer and the attentive study of the smallest symptoms that reveal presence of deceptive spirits. I would include something else: action. Prayer without action is just a prayer. Action defines who you are. Well, I'm going to pray for someone. Yeah, that's very nice. Lift up from your chair and go over there to see if the person is in need of something. This is a different thing. We can be very comfy saying, well, we're just praying. We're going to pray. Well, prayer is massive. Yes, we're going to do only praying. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying it's not enough. Action is very important. The former attracts good spirits who zealously assist only those who help them through their trust in God. Then I ask yourselves, do you believe ourselves? Do we believe in God? Do we really believe in the spiritual world? Especially here where I am in Europe, I think most of the answers will be no. If we engage ourselves in some activities like we promote through the mediumship meetings, it's not a mechanical thing. It's not just a procedure to follow. We need to ask ourselves if we believe in God, if we believe in the spiritual world, if we believe in what we can do on a mediumship meeting. Because if the answer is no, you won't be 100% on it. And chances are that you don't know why you're there. On top of that, if you ask yourselves why I'm there, if the answer is not to help others, I would encourage you to revisit your principles, why you're there, things we study. Because there are people that go on those meetings to benefit themselves. There's nothing wrong in benefit yourself in something that's positive, but will be limited what you're getting from there. If you're there to practice charity and help others, then it's a different thing. The latter shows, oh my God, you're there already.
Sorry.
Hmm.
You said something.
Are you
I'm a DIY person, right?
Go on, go on.
You said a person going the meeting for benefit themselves, right? And I'm struggle to think in examples. I'm a practical person, so sometimes I'm silly. Can you illuminate me? How? What a person you? Why a person would you like to be on that if it's not for charity?
I want to be there to be protected. I want to be there to find a mentor, a benefactor. I want to be there because when I'm there, I feel better after the meeting, and that is good enough to keep me up for a week. And then I need to come back next week to continue feeling okay. And it's the same reason why so many people go to the Spirit Center to get the healing every week, even when they don't need it. Some people, they decide to do things that are not recommended, but then once a week they go over there like to have a shower to get that cleansing thing. And then I can keep going for that like that forever. So there are people that can go to mediumship meetings through curiosity. We already spoken about that. People that go to mediumship meeting with the aim of find a protector, with the aim to leave their problems, their obsessors, their spirits over there. There are so many people with different thoughts and different reasons. But if you want to really benefit from what the mediumship meeting can do, you need to go there to practice charity, right? There are people that even go to the mediumship meetings because they think it's an obligation. And that is something you can see even more frequently. I don't want to go, but I need to go. If I don't go over there, something wrong may happen to me. You know, there are a lot of things that could come like that. Hi, Roger.
Hi. Yeah, I've just an example of what you're talking about, I think. The people that go when there's some disaster happens in their life and they go and say, "Hi, God, I don't know if you exist. I haven't been for a long, long time, but please, if you're there, help me do this, do that." And then maybe something good happens and the disaster's over and they don't go along again for another 20 years or, and I know there are people like that.
Yes, very good point, Roger. There's a lot of people like that, really, you know. And I'm going there today. God, if you're not there waiting for me, I'll not come back, you know. And there are things like that. There really are, you know. And when you go to places like that, to meetings like that, it's fair enough to say that I want to go there to see if he's there. That's a really positive, because in that sentence, I know he's somewhere, so he may be there, right? So you may encounter the kind of support you're looking for, but you deep inside, you know there is something that people call God. There is something. I'm not sure if he will be there, but that belief there is something more powerful than we are is already positive, right? Because there's a lot of people that go, that doesn't exist. So fair enough. And I can share with you guys something that happened quite often on the mediumship meeting, where spirits that are basically materialistic people, they come to our meetings. What's going on? That's something strange. I thought after death was just nothing, and I'm still here. What's going on? And when, through the conversation, we asked the spirit, well, clearly you did not realize there was something after death, right? You never thought it would be possible. Yeah, that's true. We never believe, I don't believe. Well, but we are here. So you cannot deny that we are here. We are having this conversation. Well, that's true. So that is something then. And then when we ask, do you believe in God? No, I don't believe in God. So that's another point you need to perhaps to revisit, because you also did not believe there was something after death and death. And then here today you are the living proof that there is something. So perhaps you also need to revisit your concept about God, his existence, because he may exist and he never allow you to perceive his presence, you know. But that's the kind of thing that we may find along the way. The latter shows evil spirits that they are dealing with persons who are sufficiently enlightened and sensible enough not to allow themselves to be deceived. Well, we all can be deceived, even if we do that for decades. We all can be deceived from time to time, right? So that's why we need to be very, very careful. We need to be attentive, always asking once, twice, what is the meaning of that event? And in regards to be enlightened enough, I believe that's a constant exercise. We need to have a routine to guarantee us that we keep where we are, doing good things, good activities, good readings, good thoughts, because it's not because I was a nice person 10 years ago that I'm a nice person today. I may decide to change my habits. I will use a very simple example here. 10 years ago, I didn't drink alcohol at all. Today, I'm drinking 10 liters of alcohol a day. So things like that defines your surroundings. So we need to be attentive, as it is a constant exercise. If members of the group fall under influence of obsessions, all efforts should be geared toward opening their eyes from the moment of the first indication, before the evil grows worse, in order to lead them to the understanding that they have been deceived, and to instill in them the desire to help those who are trying to free them. We already spoken here about sometimes people not very keen to hear things like that, because we do not make mistakes. We are always right. So we have two scenarios here. Someone that believes that you are obsessed and you may not be obsessed is the person who was not able to identify properly your situation, or you really have a situation where you are under the influence of bad spirits, and you need to be open to both situations. You need to be listening to what people are saying to you, because on the first example I gave here, if I'm telling Munir is obsessed and there's nothing happening, so probably the obsessed is me. So then it's time to Munir, or who else being involved in the process, to try to investigate if I am having some bad influence. On the second example, if the person really identifies that the other person is having some influence, it's time to the person to accept that possibility. Accept that he or she may need help. Normally, when the person is under this degree of influence, it's unlikely that the person will be able to fix the problem alone. Chances are that we'll need help. And there are some steps to do to help, right? Remind you all that every case is a different case. The influence of the surroundings derive from the nature of the spirits and the way in which they act upon the human beings. I like that very much, because he's a chicken and egg thing, Who's coming first? Do we have a poor, let's say, a poor surrounding because of the area, or the area became poorer because we start to do things on that area? There are situations where some places, due to what happened on those places, they have bad energy, they have bad spirits, because one thing attracts another. And then if you go there, and that's your choice, you're going into that area and you will be surrounded by that influence. On the other hand, we also can create any place to be a piece of the sky, a piece of heaven, or we can create a piece of an area where we don't want to go, right? Depending on our actions, depending on our thoughts, depending on what we are, what we do, then we attract the equals to this place. Hi, Camila.
Sherry is looking for me. She again, but here I go. So, no, I wanted to take advantage of this moment, also to do some questions, right? Because, for example, we that has more sensibility, right? It's normal some phenomena occur. Of course, if you we as you said, right? I stopped to drink for a long time now. But when I drink, I think it was worse, right? It has more phenomena that it was not positive, right? But when we change the things, these things that are not very positive, it decrease a lot, right? But for example, I know a person that has a very extensive mediunity, right? She works in a thing that are more than 10 years. She do the gospel in home. She do everything, right? But because probably the things that she made in the past, whatever, who knows, right? Some it's different things like obsession and perturbation. I don't know how I can say that, right? The, nothing make you feel phenomena disappear 100%, right? Because it is things happen since she was a teenager till now in the 6 years, right? Sometimes the bad actors, let's say, came to try to deceive. I don't know how to say that in English, but I think you got what I'm trying to say.
There are a couple of things there, right? Uh, I will start with something very interesting. It's not because I'm going to the church that I found salvation. It's not because I'm doing gospel at home. It's not because I'm doing this, I'm doing that, that I'm also okay. No. We may be doing those kind of things mechanically. And that does not have any influence on your day-to-day living, right? I can read a book or I can read a book. I can go to the church, or I can really go to the church, listen to the priest, enjoying what had been passed through. So there's a difference, right? So it's not because someone is following mechanically something that he or she will have the benefit of what you can get from those actions, right? Second thing is, when the person will accept that he or she is a medium, I need to do what is right. I don't know the guys. I don't know the person. I have no idea.
No, but that is interesting, right? Because for example, it's I listen that many times. People say I listen another group, another thing. I happens she's with me. You do the gospel home. Then I laugh because it's not enough, right? It's not because you do the gospel home that the things don't happen with you, right? Because that is the point. But with me, I don't have perturbations like science, the same perturbation for the whole my life, right? But this person, yes, she works in the center. She give a really passes. Uh, is now doing mediumship sessions, doing everything, right? She tried to do her best. Of course, he's a human being, has a lot
Let
of
me
problems, right?
let me
But
use.
it's still nothing really solved 100%, right?
Okay. Let me do a dissection of this case here, and that will be very interesting because that's what we should do every time we are in front of something. How old is this person?
60.
60. Since when this person had ostensive mediumship?
Since a kid.
Since a kid. Okay. When the person start to go to mediumship meetings?
Uh, she did the university in Brazil, right? Of medium. Take it 10 years for start to do reeling passes,
Hmm?
all this stuff, right? So mediumship, she only finds a place now that she was a fine, like because it's hard to find a group that you feel the same energy, right? All these things that you are discussing here. She only finds a place that she really likes now that they call for her to now his this obsessions mediumship. I think it is her thing. I think she will be now is in the right place
How long?
for not too long, 1 year.
Not 1 year.
And now the mediumship stuff only 1 month.
1 month.
Before only reeling, only giving reeling in the people.
So I'll do another question, few questions, just to you guys to see how we should be evaluating things. Does she drink alcohol?
No,
Does she smoke?
no.
Mhm. Very good. What else? I'll stop with the questions here. So, what we can get from those questions? We have a person that's 60 years old. Only now, a month ago, she started to go to mediumship meetings. She had mediumship events since she was a child.
Very ostensive.
So we are talking about here potentially 50 years of the person having mediumship and not using it, not
Yeah.
receiving the correct assistance to using it as well. Because part of it
Yes.
may not be only her responsibility, you know? So at the moment, the person is a beginner, knows nothing.
That is
Regardless,
true.
regardless if she did 10 years of the Spiritist University, she never had any practice. And we don't learn mediumship on the book. We learn how to use, how to control, how to behave with mediumship in the practice. There's no other way, right? And
Yes.
again, I'm not saying not to study. I'm the first one to say to study. But someone that clearly has a mediumship like that, can see, can hear, any other thing, needs to work the mediumship. Otherwise, what's going to happen to this person? She will feel the presence. She may lose control at home, at work, on the streets, anywhere. And is the first the fault of the person? No, no. But now here, me judging without having means to judge anything, right? And we should not judge at all. But someone that has 50 years of mediumship, possibly trying to avoid that for at least 50 years as well. But because you nod your head, I think I found something that may be true, you know? So that's a constant battle.
You are right. Because indeed in Brazil, the spirit is very has a lot of centers, right? It's not like here. It's very hard someone find a place to work, right? Just like you are allowed, you need to do like 5 years of healing passes for then go to the medium sessions. So besides she did the university, do everything like that, right? Was hard. She find a place that she liked it and was allowed, right? Because if, for example, she starts to do the Umbanda stuff, right? There was a practical thing, right? But it was not her thing. It was not the stuff that she want to do, right? So she give up. So yeah, I think I think you make a very fair point. A very fair point.
Okay.
That
So,
maybe is the reason.
mhm. So now let's use a little bit more this example, because this may be boring to you guys, but I'm trying to show you how to evaluate things, because we all should do this exercise from time to time. Okay? Quite often, when someone realizes there's something weird going on, go to the doctor, make exams. The doctor don't find anything because the exams results were all clear. And then someone may come close and say, well, you may have something called mediumship, you may have to go to a spirit center, but you don't like, you don't want to be, you don't want to go. So you battle with that for quite some time. And then you decide to go to a different doctor because the first doctor you went was no good. You do more exams, you do more tests, and again, everything comes clear. After a period of time, you decide, yes, okay, because you have that annoying cousin telling you to go to a spirit center, you decide to go to the spirit center that you don't believe, you don't like, you don't want to go. But you decide to go anyway. When you're there, say, I don't want to be that. So what I want is to find someone to remove that from me. So basically, that person try to find a magic wand to remove mediumship from my life, something that does not exist. Then the person decides to go away. But in the lack of better words, the problem remains there. And it can go 1 decade, 2 decades, because mediumship is organic. That does not disappear like that. And quite often, the person who had that I'm describing here will start to have more events, even some scary events. And this is something that I call wake-up call. You need to wake up. You need to do something in what you've been given to. Because even if you believe or not, mediums or indoctrinators, they have been prepared to be mediums and indoctrinators before they reincarnate. So that's one of the things you're supposed to be doing here. And again, you have another event and another event. And those events can be very frustrating, at least, embarrassing even, because you need to wake up. You have the freedom not to. You have your free will to choose not to. But as I said, mediumship is organic. So what's going to happen? Eventually, you find someone that will prescribe something for you, and you start to take it. And sometimes that may create another type of harm. I cannot describe how many cases end up in psychiatric institutions back in Brazil, and they were only mediums. The problem when that happens is that you have a time where you can reverse the damage of the prescriptions, the drugs you take. After a long use of drugs, those drugs start to affect your physical body. And then the harm is done. I'm not saying that everyone that is in a psychiatric institution is a medium. I'm saying that sometimes some people, because the family does not know, doesn't like the possibility, and in conjunction with some other information, decide to put that person into the psychiatric institution. I have one case that comes to my mind straight away. She was twice in this kind of institution until someone was there, identified that she was a medium. She was released from the psychiatric institution. She went to the group. She never returned. I'm just painting a not very nice picture here to corroborate with the person that denies or tries to escape for 50 years what she's supposed to be doing. It's a choice. And when we are inclined not to accept, everything will happen around us to push us in the direction not to accept. Even Spiritist Center, pushing someone to study for 10 years before considering to really do something about the mediumship. We need to pay attention to all those details. Hi, Liz.
Hello, everyone. Yes, Graham. It suddenly occurred to me while you were talking about, it's so important to study, that it's about 25 years when I first, joined the Spiritist group. And I asked Janet a year later, I had always had an intuition that I had the mediumship capabilities. But it wasn't manifesting per se. So I asked Janet, because they did a mediumship practice there, if I would be able to join. And she personally started to give me the essential studies in a home before you can go anywhere near the practice. Fast forward, we're now 25 years later. And here is the first time I'm in a safe environment with studies online, studying the mediumship book, where I have the opportunity to safely study mediumship and to safely practice mediumship. And that's a really important factor, that you have that knowledge behind you first.
There are cases and cases.
Pardon?
There are cases and cases.
Yeah.
If anybody come to me with a mediumship unbalanced, I will help the person. I will not tell the person to study 10 years. It's not, this to me, if I do that, is lack of charity. A lot of people with unbalanced mediumship goes to the Spiritist center trying to find help. And telling a person to study 10 years before anything else, I'm afraid is not helping. Yes, we can study together.
Instant, yeah.
We can study together. Every single case that came to us like that, we have to study. We're going to study. Possibly, depending on case by case, you have to go to what we call Spiritist treatment. It's basically a sequence of healing for a period of time, sometimes 4 weeks, 10 weeks, something, to bring her a little bit degree of balance into the energetic field of the person, and then bring to the mediumship meeting. You speak with your benefactors. What should we do? No. Now is a result of the practice. Sometimes we go to the benefactors. We have this case here. What should we do? No, this person can wait. Put her on the treatment, put her on the studies. In a couple of months' time, we will revisit. Fair enough. What about this person? This particular person needs to go to the mediumship now, before it's too late. Means now, before it's too late, because possibly the person is about to commit something she will not recover from it anymore. But if you don't ask your benefactor, if you're not open to give that degree of charity, you become responsible for the outcome as well. I will share a true example with you guys here. We had a girl, she was since 8 years old, trying to commit suicide. When we met the girl, and she was in the Spiritist center since she was a baby. When we met the girl, she was possibly around 14 to 15. After several attempts, we could identify straight away that she was a medium. On the first conversation, the first visit, we identified she was a medium. We asked, what can we do? This case is serious. This teenager is trying to commit suicide. What can we do? We ask our benefactors. A Spiritist center, a Spiritist must work with the spirits. The spirits we know, we trust, of course. And the answer from the benefactor was clear. She's a medium. She needs to develop the mediumship now. She needs to participate in our meeting. That was a particular Monday. She goes on the Monday meeting because we had mediumship meetings in several days of the week. She will be part of Monday mediumship meeting, and you take her mother with her. Fair enough. We spoke to the parents, we spoke to the mom, and they both went to the mediumship meeting. This event, when she was there in the mediumship meeting, we found that the mother was also medium, something that we were not scrutinizing when she came to the Spirit Center. So both started to develop the mediumship with us, and she was 15 years old. Okay? Not doing so, what could be the result? Unfortunately, the family had to move to a different city because of the work of the parents. We had, she was like 17 already, something like that. And the mom came to us, what are we going to do? I said, well, let's hope we find a charitable spiritist center where you're going to accept you guys to continue what you're doing here. Guess what happened? Was a big capital in Brazil. She could not find a spiritist center open enough to continue doing what they were doing. Less than a year later, the problems with the suicidal attempt returned. One day, because of lack of support, the family took her to one institution. They gave her some medicaments, and she had her heart stopped for almost 10 minutes. 10 minutes. She returned after that. No damage, no brain damage, no nothing. She returned. And then after this event, the family contacted us again. What should we do? This is a very important case, complicated even. So what do? We speak with the benefactors. They know what we don't. And the benefactor clearly said to us what's supposed to be done. And it was something that was very unexpected. We need to send a message to the mom now. So, wow, how? I was not prepared for that. How can we send a message? Use your equipment. And then straight away came to my mind, it's talking about registry, recording. I got the phone number, the mobile, the cell phone. I had the WhatsApp of the mom, and I started to record the message. The benefactor was speaking. And the message was clear. She needs to return to the mediumship practice now. Not a day later, now. And we suggest to you to return to the Spirit Center where you can find this support. That was very direct, very short. That was a couple of years back. We were right after the COVID. Okay? The mom and the daughter returned to that city, returned to the Spirit Center that were open enough to give the support they need. And this is called charity. No more suicidal attempts. And late last year, she just finished her university. No more events. And she's still working as a medium. No more events. What if we have decided to do or to recommend the Spiritist University? She would probably shouldn't be here today. Probably shouldn't be here today. Now remember what I said. 10 minutes, her heart had stopped. Right? Was not her time. Clearly, was not her time. She had something to do. So anybody that comes to me and say that, well, you need to study 10 years before you do something, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I cannot vouch for it. I would not sign on the bottom of that page. Because my practice, what I have lived show me otherwise. And in our group here, it's no different. People came to us with not that type of experience before, and people are here working with us, producing a very good quality of work, reducing the inconvenience of mediumship that were unbalanced. And I believe they had better lives now. So this is charity. And there's nowhere in Kardec, please prove me wrong, and Charles is here, he knows Kardec better than anyone, prove me wrong, where Kardec says that the person needs to study 5 years before goes on a mediumship meeting. Because the reality today is you will study that amount of years the person will recommend to you, and you need to be waiting to someone to die so you can find a seat in that meeting. But remember, you're not the only one. You have to be in a queue waiting for a possibility to start your mediumship development. And if you are in need of help now, sorry, it'll be too late. Charles, just for please correct me here if I'm wrong. Have you seen in Kardec's book anywhere where he said that a medium needs to go through several years of study before start practicing mediumship?
No, not several years, but he writes that he should study mediumship.
That I totally agree. That's what we do.
But because most of the people, they are medium without knowing even what it is. So thing is, study.
Yeah. Study always. Always. But not helping someone that has a mediumship totally unbalanced. Start with the possibility that the person may become obsessed, the person may do something that have no way back, and so on. But I'm talking too much. Before I see, oh my God, too many hands. But before I allow you guys to speak, I know that Denise, you had your hands up.
Sorry, yeah. Well, it was just to say that it was a long time ago that here they say that it has to be a heartfelt prayer. So sometimes you may pray, you may be gospel, but if it's not heartfelt, it not may go out too much. I think that was my point.
Very good, very good. I'm with you now, Roger.
You answered my question a little bit just a moment ago when you said you need to study maybe without even knowing what mediumship is, because I was going along to the Solidarity Spiritist group in Clapham Junction for a long time. I've got very interested in Spiritism without any idea of being a medium and any idea of knowing what mediumship was or is. I still don't know what mediumship is. I don't know if I am a medium, if I ever will be a medium. I might be a medium tomorrow or next week or next month. Quite happy to accept it. But what I do know is that the other day, I was thinking to myself, my goodness, I've got an awful lot of study coming up, an awful lot of study that I'm committing myself to in terms of the books that I'm looking at, the various Spiritism books. And I'd given all my study up for work and retired. And I did that because study had become something very difficult for me to do. as a profession. It was part of, I was going to have to reaccredit myself professionally. And I said, I can't do this. I need to retire. And I just suddenly felt invigorated. I was in the kitchen and I just had this sudden feeling of, no, you're going to do it. And I didn't know why I felt like that. And I didn't know where that feeling came from. But then I was in the heaven and hell meeting that evening, and the subject came up about these feelings. And I said, well, my answer to your question, I can't remember who asked the question. My answer to your question is actually this feeling that I've just had. Oh my God, I've got an answer. When I was 2 minutes ago struggling to think of an answer, but the answer is the one that I had this afternoon. It was like it was a jigsaw, and it suddenly all came together. And ever since then, I've felt really pleased that it fits so neatly and it will lead on. And I'm now so confident that it is all going to fit so well together.
Very good, Roger. Very good. I'm glad to hear that. Very good. Very nice. Sila, you had your hands up as well.
I had, and then I put down because it comes and goes the information, but basically, it's not a question. Actually, it's a question for you, but I don't mind the group. Knowing that, I feel things, and I know that I probably have a mentor, and I have, the people there behind me as everybody else does as well. I never connect to, I don't know who they are or not. I just feel, how can I give an example? Okay, like last week I was cleaning an office alone, and then I felt a presence, and then suddenly I felt like, I don't know if it was shot or arrow, something through my heart. I felt blood, and I felt that was happening to the person that was there asking probably for help. So I stopped what I was doing. I pray. I asked for my mentors, to come and help me, and I just donate love and good energy the way I could to them to work with the situation. And then I was like, I know what I was doing was probably the right thing to do, I'm assuming, but at the same time, I don't know who my mentors are, who the spirits that come. Is that possibility that the spirit was stealing energy, if there is such a thing, or what do I take from there? I know I'm quite confused or
I will
situations like that.
Very good question. I'm going to use that for the whole group.
Okay.
First thing first, we need to study, right? Because some of the questions you have, you will find by yourself as well, with time, right? Second thing, it sounds like a wake-up call to me, And being a wake-up call, I think a decision needs to be made what to do with that, right? And then this is only you can answer that, right? In regards to having a mentor, a benefactor, I would say we all have our familiar spirits or what we call guardian angel that's dedicated to us. Having a benefactor per se is something else. A benefactor per se is when you are engaged in some activities where you need a mentor. It's like a university. If you're just a student in university, you can go through your university, no problem at all. But if you decide to develop some specific areas of science in your university, you also have a mentor, someone that did that very specific thing before you, and he will be there to guide you through. But that you get when you start to work, right? So What could I answer to you now? I think you need to start to work. That's my best answer for you. And what you felt is something that the mediums can feel. But we do that in a safe environment, not everywhere. Everywhere means could be a bit uncontrolled. Okay? Camila, I'm with you. Just my time is running as well.
Yeah, I will be very fast, and we need to do the praying.
Never,
Yeah,
never fast.
but
Don't.
I don't like to share the things, right? Because it's hard. I know others. I know other people in my family that has the same. First, I thought everybody that has mentorship was equally. Yeah, and all these things happens. Just after I understood why people don't understand few things, right? Because you see, and the people say no, but it's that like it's just pray. No, the things is much more stronger than pray, right? Like if, for example, Roger said, I like to another day I would like to see. No, you don't like to see Roger. You don't. I trust me, because it's like see a person, real person, right? Like he is real. Like you don't know if he is or not, and sometimes can be very bad. I don't see every time, but for example, when I was a kid, I could not sleep. The things is not like easy, like okay, it's like my grandma. One of them was a spirit, right? But the other one believes that it was demons. So I see a lot of people in my home. I could not sleep. I could not go in the bathroom. I pee like until 9 years old. I don't know, but I was big and I still pee in the bed because I could not go in the bathroom. So was not nice. And it's more easy you believe that is a demon than an angel. So the things that you see, right? Because it's not like I don't see my grandmother, hi, that he passed away, I give a hug you, right? That is hard to see, I think, right? But you see it is sometimes not so nice. How I can say it is without the proper help, like Guilherme, right? Like the things that you all have been helping me a lot. But it's not so easy for some people because the things are too strong. It's too intense, right? It's too real. It's the feeling, the touch. You can feel touch. You can feel. You can feel like my husband here alive, right? Give him a hug, like it's normal. Like you don't know if he's dead or not. It's so real, but it can be very scary sometimes. Depends of what happens, the phenomenon.
Let me take from there. Roger, don't listen to her. I'm stuff like that. Now, she just gave to us a very good example of a family who had an infant with mediumship, did not know what to do, did not know how to handle, and did not have the right support from anywhere. And yes, can be troublesome, right? But I can give you several examples of families, spiritist families, where had infants that could see, could talk, could interact with the spiritual world, and they saw that as very normal. It all depends where it's happening. If you were, for example, in my family, it would be different because you would have a different kind of support to see, to hear, to understand, right? You were right when you said you can sometimes you see things that are not very nice, but you can also see things that are nice. A medium, a clairvoyant medium, he sees things can be nice, cannot be that nice, can be very ugly, by the way, sometimes. But understanding what you see is very important. You're not seeing demons, you're not seeing monsters. It's like we walk on the streets. If you go on the high street or anywhere in UK, right now, they are nice people. Kids running. Try to go on a high street like 1 o'clock in the morning. You see things that are not very nice either. You see people that you could be even scared. No, it's exactly the same in the spiritual world, right? Understanding is very important. If you do have a kid, a young infant in your family showing that degree of mediumship, first of all, do not scare the kid, because sometimes the parents, they do exactly that. They make things more complicated. Try to study again, to find the right information how to handle it. Try to find assistance from a spirit center. And there are things that can be done to mitigate the process. Things, I'll mention a couple here: the gospel at home, use of fluidified water, healing. That will help the infant to pass through this phase until it's mature enough to be able to do better utilization of those characteristics. So there are cases and cases, right? It's not because your experience was not that positive at the time that Roger's experience, my experience, you name it, will be the same.
No, I understand. I completely understand. I saw good things as well, but have a good phenomena as well. I just want to share that sometimes for a few people things are very strong. It's not so easy as showing like, I just you do a prayer and oh, you're fine, right? It's very
Well,
strong.
I have lived situations that were very strong, and a prayer had a magnificent result in less than a minute. So it depends, situation by situation, right? And we need to know that we have possibilities. We need to study. We need to, when I mean study, is not reading. Studying is different. Being part of a spiritist group is not like I'm going there when I don't have anything else to do. I'm going there because I know it's important to me, first of all, and then important to my family, important to my kids. I will learn instruments to help people like we described here today when they come to us, right? So that's why we study the medium's book. Why? To understand mediumship. So eventually, when someone comes to us, we will be better placed to help. All right? So I think I gave. There's no up anymore.
Sorry, folks, for today. Make so many questions.
No, that was beautiful.
I just
Like
say
that.
the last thing because I felt that sometimes can help someone because I don't know.
Oh, you're totally right. Totally right. But your dog is having problems in the window. So, guys, it is our time. Pablo is not here. Rafael is not here. Is anyone from the prayer group that wants to take over? It's very nice to make the prayer, but it's very nice when all the participants also participate of it. All right? And I would like to invite the participants for the prayer to participate of the study as well, because this could be also very positive. So I'll do a quick prayer here to finalize our meeting today.
I would like, but I a little bit of cough. It's not so good today. I cough a lot, too much. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you, Sally. Master Jesus, my spiritual friends, in this moment, we would like to thank you for this study. And we can ask you for your light, for your love, for your energy to every area of conflict, Middle East, Ukraine, Africa, anywhere in the world where hunger, starvation, and sufferings are present at the moment. That your light could involve every single heart, that your light could bring the peace to every home here represented and every home that are under distress. Master Jesus, we are so little and we know nothing, but at your feet we beg your light to every spirit that are in need just now, that your peace could show us the right path, could show us the opportunities we have to practice charity in your name. Be with us today and always. So be.
Graham, can I just make an important point? And it's to do with prayer. The study doesn't just stop when the study stops. The study stops when the prayer is said. And people, it's just important, as it says all the way through all our study books, how important prayer is. So people should try and not be shy and learn to be able to say the opening prayer and the ending prayer as well, or any prayers for that matter, because that is all part of the learning and it's such an important aspect.
Very good. Very good. And using Liz' comments, I wish you all a wonderful weekend. And see you all soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. See you.